It was a dynasty dreams were made of, the hoisting in Edmonton of Lord Stanley's Cup. Banner season after banner season as Gretzky and company built a rich tradition. But now perhaps it's fitting the coach is named Green. So are his kids, 9 first-round picks, 9 under age 23. Tradition is something the Vancouver Canucks are just building. 2 straight division titles. It's a solid roster, and Pat Quinn has made few changes, hoping stability helps his team become dominant in this Pacific Division. So tonight it's the Vancouver Canucks and Edmonton Oilers from Northland's Coliseum, a building that's made more news of late than the team playing in it. Good evening and welcome to Molson Hockey Night in Canada on CBC. It has been a year of deadlines. Another has passed. Peter Pocklington and Northland's Coliseum still have not reached a deal, so Peter Pocklington goes shopping for perhaps another city that might be interested in his team while talks continue here. The more things change, the more they stay the same. Meantime, on the ice tonight marks game 4 in 6 nights for the Edmonton Oilers. The week began Thanksgiving Day Monday, a loss for the Oilers in Vancouver against these Canucks. Then Edmonton, well, they were sitting ducks in Anaheim, followed up by a tie in Los Angeles. Meantime, the Canucks have been idle since that Thanksgiving Day 4-1 victory over Edmonton. So up next, the opening face-off between 2 longtime rivals on Molson Hockey Night in Canada on CBC.
In Canada,
hey, anybody want a beer?
cottage life requires people to make personal sacrifices, endure physical hardships, and forgo modern conveniences. The Cottage, where you'll find the clean, crisp taste of Molson Canadian.
Gotta love kitchen parties.
And what beer's all about.
Molson Hockey Night in Canada on CBC is brought to you by Molson Canadian. What beer's all about. And by Ford of Canada, where quality is job one. It's working.
Welcome back to Northland's Coliseum. It's the Oilers and Canucks tonight, a Pacific Division battle. And out of town, some other divisional matchups we will keep an eye on for you. In the Northeast, it's the Battle of Quebec at the Forum, while 2 Central Division games. One we'll keep an eye on, Toronto at Joe Louis Arena for a fight or two, probably the second half of a home-and-home weekend series. And here the Oilers at 500 this early. It's a good sign. They didn't get 2 wins last year until their 11th game and their 8th game in 1991, while the Oilers won just 2 of the first 15 following their Cup win. Now let's go up to Steve and Jim Publicity.
Thank you, Ken. Hi, everyone. We had new jackets last week. We've got a new camera position here at the Northlands Coliseum. Jim Publicity, a lot of new faces in this young Edmonton Oiler lineup. What about a new philosophy for the Oilers? Has it changed?
Well, when you have so many new players, I think the best thing to do is make a clear example of what you want to do. Ted Green clearly is saying, guys, we got youth, we want speed, we want commitment, we want work ethic. And so far, the Oilers have given us just that.
And there is the head coach of the Edmonton Oilers, Ted Green, who says that he has lots of patience. He will wait for this young team to develop. Not that he has a lot of choices. The starting goaltender tonight for the Vancouver Canucks will be Kirk McLean. Bill Ranford will be in goal for the Edmonton Oilers. And the game is underway. Opening seconds of the first period here at Northland's Coliseum. Canucks coming into this one with a record of 2-1. Edmonton 2-2-1. Oilers dump it into the zone. McLean touches it for the first time. Jyrki Lumme almost gives it up. Lumme battling in the corner. Ronning is there to help out. Courtnall now chasing it on the far board. Doug Waite behind the net for the Oilers. Trying to get a piece of it. Dana Merson comes up with it for Vancouver. Played in the middle to Courtnall. He couldn't control it. Shot in by Richardson. Lumme has it for the Canucks in his own zone. Plays it up to center, looking for Ronning. Igor Kravchuk, 21 for the Edmonton Oilers, behind his own net to Ian Herbert. playing with a bit of a bruised knee. Babbage plays it into the Oilers zone. Long pass up the left side looking for Steve Rice. Diddick gets to it before Rice does. Plays it up to Gino Wojcik. Had a couple of goals against the Oilers in Monday's game in Vancouver, which Vancouver won 4-1. Shot in by Jason Arnott. Rice can't control it. Wojcik has it. Backhands it into the neutral zone.
Well, we'll have a peek at our goaltender. Steve, you mentioned Kirk McLean. He's been solid so far this year and will continue to do that for the Vancouver Canucks. Bill Ranford will see a ton of games. If you talk to Ted Green, he says he's making $1 million, and we're going to see lots of them. Ranford has been outstanding so far, with the exception of one period against Anaheim. Billy McCreary, Mike Speak, and Shane Heyer have the tough job.
Jeff Smith gets a return pass. Corson back to Smith. This is Dave Babbage. Long lead pass from Pavel Bure. Didn't quite connect. Ranford comes out and gets the first touch of the puck. Bure has it for the Canucks. Bure can't control it. 3-on-2 for the Oilers, led by Corson. Corson working down the left side. Tried to get the pass into the middle, and it went off the skate of Diddick. Wrap around, and McLean with a couple of saves. That last one off of Rice.
Boy, oh boy, great point-blank saves. Young goaltenders get an idea of what it means to stand up and stay on your feet. McLean with 2 bullets from in tight. Corson with a good job coming out. And 2 very, very quick shots. Rice is robbed, particularly on the second one. McLean is on his way up to kick it out. Otherwise, the Oil would have a 1-goal lead.
17:53 remaining in the opening period here at Northlands Coliseum. No score. Oilers and Canucks face off to the right of Kirk McLean. Dean McCammon, number 37, take the draw for the Oilers. To get it back to the point. Shot saved by McLean. Joseph with the howitzer from the right side. Scott Pearson. Shot that's wide. Back to the point. Luke Richardson, number 22 for the Oilers. Butek, his pass in front. Cleared to the corner by the Vancouver Canucks. Luke Richardson. Shot deflection by Butek. Good pressure here from the Oilers early in the opening period. Unbeaten at home so far this season, 2-0. Overall record of 2-2-1. The 2 losses and the tie all on the road. Chance for the Canucks. Momessa with a shot. Saved by Ranford. Charbonneau on the sideboards. The Oilers come away with it. Richardson fires it down the left side. It'll go the length of the ice.
Well, let's have a look at who's not in the lineup for the Oilers. With the exception of Scott Thornton, everyone else is healthy, and the 4 below Thornton did a little extra work. Ward is the only player not suited up for Vancouver. He got a suspension roughly a week ago against the Calgary Flames. Right in front of the net, you see Ward take care of Gary Roberts in an uncivilized fashion. The Flames sent a tape in to the league. And very quickly, Brian Burke assessed a 3-game suspension, and for your information, no penalty was called on the play initially.
Canucks with the puck in the Oilers zone. Herbert. This is Craig McTavish. Loses it. Shot back in by the Canucks. Now Buckberger. And Sean Antosky want to go to it. The sticks are down. The gloves are off. Antosky comes in. Couple of heavyweights.
Antosky's 236 pounds. He's strong as an ox. And Buckberger replies with his gameness.
Buckberger doing most of the receiving right now. Now he gets his right hand free, and he's able to land a couple of shots, but for the first 30 seconds of that, it was all Antosky. 16:32 to play, opening period here at Northlands. No score.
This is the office where our Ford truck engineers get a lot of work done. Because by knowing firsthand how a full-size pickup ought to work, they can make it work even better. That's why the Ford F-Series now has a new standard airbag, standard anti-lock brakes, and constant ideas to make tough even tougher. More proof that at Ford, we're looking ahead and looking to stay ahead. Ford F-Series, built Ford tough.
Oh, no, not I. I will survive. Oh, as long as I know how to love, I know I'll be alive.
Duracell. You can tough the conquer tough.
Hello, I'm Pamela Wallen. On the next CBC Primetime News Election Town Hall, we'll look at the state of government here in Canada.
Join Pamela Wallen for CBC Primetime News, Monday.
Antosky and Buchberger both receiving 5 for fighting. Antosky had well over 300 minutes last year. You see the total he's amassed over 2 years. Buchberger, very similar.
Yeah, the Canucks dump it in right off the face-off. Now the Oilers start from their own zone. Required. Cleared by the Canucks. Igor Kravchuk goes behind his own net. Canucks with some pressure. And finally cleared by the Oilers, and it goes into the bench.
Up front, Vancouver has these 4 combinations. Ojik with a couple of goals, courtesy of Bure. The first 2 you'll see more of. The Antosky, McIntyre, Timmy Hunter line. That cleanup and allow a change of pace. On defense, Vancouver has had the same pairs, with the exception of Lidster moving out and Slager moving in this year. These half a dozen guys have spent a lot of time together, and as a result, know each other very, very well.
Head coach Pat Quinn, his next victory for the Vancouver Canucks will be his 100th as the Canucks head coach. The leader amongst Canuck coaches, Harry Neal. Saved there by Ramford off a quick shot by Trevor Linden off the faceoff. Babbage forced to go back into his own zone. Watched by Malkin. Ronnie plays it along the boards, looking for Courtney. Oilers have control in their own zone. Still no score. 15:42 got opening period. Shot, save! Seeger with a big shot from the left side. Malkin. Dean McCandless behind the net. Passes in front. Save again by McLean. And we're going to get the first penalty of the game from referee Bill McCreary.
The Edmonton Oilers playing a very simple game. As Ted Green said this afternoon, they had 40 guys in training camp until the regular season started, so they're not doing anything too fancy. We've seen that so far this evening. Some good pursuit on the puck. Maltby has been moving his feet, creating some turnovers. Well, here with Cliff Ronning generates the Oilers' first power play.
2 minutes for tripping.
Tripping at 4:35, the penalty against Cliff Ronning.
Just like 5-on-5, when you haven't had a whole lot of time to practice, power play is an area that you want to simplify. The Oilers have not had a great power play so far. They're running around 11% efficiency, 8% at home. So in all likelihood, you'll see them move the puck to the middle, get somebody in front, hammer it on goal, and see if they can't generate a little confidence by way of a deflection or something of that order.
Arnott and Corson out there with Seeger for the Edmonton Oilers. Dumped on the ice by the Canucks.
A bit of a strange sight, with all due respect to Tim Hunter. Killing penalties for Vancouver. Pat Quinn wanting to get everybody in the game, and with the number of penalties that are assessed now, 3rd and 4th line guys in order to play get in on special teams, and that's why Tim Hunter's out there.
Babbage backhands it ahead to that man, Tim Hunter, a former teammate of Jim Poplinski.
Well, we spent a little bit of time talking with Tim Hunter last night, Steve. One of the things that I thought was quite interesting that he mentioned was the way he's enjoying the game right now. He said, you know, it's probably my last year, but it's the first time that I've ever played without any pressure. I'm just liking the game. I want the team to do well. I've got no other motives than that. He said, as a result, it's the most I've ever enjoyed playing hockey, and it's showing in his spirit in these first half a dozen games.
Minute 32 remaining in the power play for the Edmonton Oilers, running off for the Canucks. And Toski and Buchberger still in the penalty box, serving those fighting majors. This is Hunter, breaking in on the right side. Oilers regroup and come back, led by Jason Arnott. Their first pick, 7th overall in the June draft. Here's a chance shot. And again, McLean was in the right place at the right time.
Arnott is a real stretch. He's got to be 6'3" at least. He's not real heavy. He's got a big frame, and it makes him rather lanky and tough to read. Sometimes you misjudge his speed. He uses a stick. It seems to be about as long as he is, and as a result gives him a tremendous reach. You saw him just jump through the middle and fight off a check. And he was almost able to get his stick on the puck and another chance at McLean.
McCammon, Waite, and Vujic out there now for the Edmonton Oilers up front. Kravchuk plays it around the boards, looking for Manson. He can't control it. Robert Dirk keeps it in. Igor Kravchuk, who came to the Oilers in that Chicago deal for Joe Murphy. McCammon can't get by his men. Slager covering up on the play, plays it along the boards. Manson couldn't keep it in. Kravchuk backhands it off the boards. Another giveaway, but the Oilers recover. Doug Waite. Manson dumps it in. Vujic chasing after it. Give away to Robert Dirk. He plays it up on the left side to Trevor Linden. He just dumps it down the ice. 12 seconds remaining in Ronning's penalty. And the power play for the Edmonton Oilers, which has really only resulted in 2 quality chances. Kravchuk, rink wide to Joseph. Joseph works his way on the right side. Gets the shot away. And again, McLean had that one covered. Ronnie back on the ice for the Canucks. Teams at even strength. This is Pavel Bure. Bure shot deflected by Luke Richardson. Waite tries to clear it, can't. Bure keeps it in. Plays it back to Ronnie. Ronnie looking for some space. Bure off the sideboards. Brantford leaves it for Richardson. Sean Podine ahead to Craig McTavish. McTavish gets it back. Goes rink wide to Joseph, and it's offside. 12:45 to play, opening period here at Northlands Coliseum. Still looking for the first goal.
The Canadian ice beer molecule. Rarely found in isolation, it prefers instead to bond with other Canadian ice beer molecules into larger, more complex structures. For reasons as yet unclear to science, these structures are based on multiples of 6, the most complex being the bideca-quadrupod, which scientists would call a flat. Canadian Ice, tomorrow's beer, today.
This man is no ordinary man. He sets the prices at Canadian Tire. Prices that get noticed. Prices that have impact. He keeps prices especially low on many of the brands you use most. No, this is not a sale. It's everyday low prices like these MotoMaster all-season radials from $27.99 each. And save every day on 4 packs of hockey tape and Cooper SK600 hockey helmets. So please, don't be alarmed. He just likes doing his job. There's a lot more to Canadian Tire for a lot less.
Just as we went to commercial, Ojic and Richardson got into it. McCurry has assessed Ojic as being the instigator and has received a 2-minute instigator penalty. Game misconduct goes with it. This is how it started. And you saw how it finished with Ojic leaving the game. Richardson will receive 5 only. And that makes Vancouver short for a pair and short 1 forward.
Well, from going from a goal scorer, Gino Ojic has resorted to form here at Northlands Coliseum Monday afternoon at the Pacific Coliseum in Vancouver. He was set up beautifully by Pavel Bure and didn't get into too much in the way of fisticuffs. But tonight here at Northlands, a different story for Gino Ojic, and now they've lost his services for the remainder of the game.
Well, and just looking at Ojic's penalty minutes, he only has a pair so far in 3 games. Vancouver wanting to set the stage, I'm sure, because they haven't had great success here at Northlands. In fact, if you go back a few years to 1985 through 1988, the Oilers dominated them to the extent that Vancouver didn't win a game in 24. Richardson has been the brunt of Vancouver's onslaught, in part tonight and in their first meeting when Antoski got involved with Richardson. So a physical presence, perhaps Pat Quinn and the Vancouver Canucks looking to lay a little bit of groundwork so that the Oilers recognize that they're going to be for real again this year like they were last year.
Pep, you can go back to 1982, the year the Vancouver Canucks went to their first and only Stanley Cup final. They did not have a good record against the Edmonton Oilers. The Oilers have continued to be the Vancouver Canucks nemesis down through the years.
Well, it's funny how you can do great against some teams, and for some reason an organization gets your number. You have to recognize that and find a way to change it as quickly as possible.
Arnott, Corson, and Seager up front for the Edmonton Oilers as the Canucks clear the zone. Igor Kravchuk plays it back through the middle. Left for Kravchuk. 4 Oilers bunching up at the blue line. Power play won't work too successfully that way. You got to spread it out.
Well, Vancouver's doing an excellent job in forcing Edmonton. They know that the Oilers haven't got a guy that can really take the zone well, and as a result, they're putting pressure on him.
Joseph, shot, save with play. Tim Hunter does a good job in clearing the zone for the Vancouver Canucks with a desperation poke check. Oilers come back. 57 seconds in the minor penalty to Gino Ojic. This is Joseph, right side. Dumps it in. And again, an easy clear for the Canucks.
Well, there's 2 sides to a power play not working well. Number 1, you obviously don't get production from it. Number 2, it means that your opposition isn't afraid at all to take a stupid penalty, and that's something that weighs more than my first reason.
This is Jeff Smith. Clear lane, elects to shoot, save McLean. Trevor Linden gets to it before Vujic does. Vujic comes off the boards with it. Back to Smith. Intercepted by Linden. Bad pass there from Dave Manson, who should know better. Manson plays it up front. This is Doug Waite. Waite loses it. Back to Smith. Smith shot, save McLean again. They can't get the rebound in front. Back to Smith. Shot deflected by Charbonneau. Dirk tries to clear, can't. Oilers still control. Doug Waite, good move, gets around Slager and then loses it. But an excellent initial move by Doug Waite. Now the Canucks come back. Trevor Linden. In front, scores! A shorthanded goal puts the Canucks in front, 1-0.
Charbonneau does a great job on this goal by not being in a big rush to get to Ranford. Watch as he comes on the left side of your screen and really takes his time. Coming late, all of a sudden he's right there. Instead of jumping right to the net, he holds it, and Linden, who everyone thought was out of rink and out of time, lays a perfect flat pass. Charbonneau puts the Canucks ahead by 1.
Second point, scored by number 20, Jose Charbonneau.
Jose Charbonneau with his second goal of the season, and the Canucks lead 1-0. Oilers start back. Adams plays it ahead to Sergio Momesso. Momesso back to Adams. Adams with a chance. Save Ranford, but Ranford looked behind him. He wasn't quite sure.
Well, Charbonneau did a fair amount of scoring goals in his roller hockey career with the Voodoos this year. Already logged his second after a stint in Europe This guy has changed his style somewhat. Much more of a finesse player when he was drafted first overall by the Montreal Canadiens, but he's recognized that he has to play with a little bit more grit and combine that with goal scoring if he's going to stick in the National Hockey League today.
Oilers try to clear the zone, do successfully. Adams is there, goes rink wide to Momesso. 9:37 to play, opening period. Canucks lead 1-0. This is McTavish. Momesso tried to break it up, couldn't. McTavish gets it back. Slager working against McTavish. Slager lays it off the boards. Kept in by Joseph. Joseph's shot blocked by Momesso. Momesso almost found Pavel Bure with a bank pass off the boards. Slager. Merzen dumps it in. Chris Joseph up on the right side, picked off by Antosky. Joseph again starts out from behind his own net. Has Herbers up on the left side. He finds him with the pass. Played ahead to Scott Pearson. Lume to Tim Hunter. Goes rink wide looking for Antosky. Joseph couldn't handle it, and Ranford is forced to do that. Scott Pearson. McCammon. Still chasing after it. Finally cleared by Merzen. McCammon. Pass in front. No white shirt there. Dave Manson inside his own blue line. Can't control it. Lays it off the glass and down the ice. And Lume gets back to it, and that'll be icing against the Oilers. 8 minutes to play. First period. Charbonneau's goal, the only one of the game so far.
Oh, no, not I. I want to buy. Oh, as long as I know how to love, I know I'll be alive.
Duracell. You can't top the Conquer Top.
I'm losing 21-17. Mostly because of this brick wall of a linebacker. Nothing gets past this guy. Nothing. So, last quarter, seconds left. Can't go through, can't go around, gotta go over. Bomb! It was a long bomb! Ah! Touchdown! 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 Boy, I love this game. I really love it.
Hello, I'm Pamela Wallen. On the next CBC Primetime News Election Town Hall, we'll look at the state of government here in Canada.
Join Pamela Wallen for CBC Primetime News, Monday.
And that is not a replay of the sun setting slowly in the west. That is actual speed here at Edmonton. What a beautiful shot. Reminds one of the kind of sunsets you might expect to see in Hawaii.
What a great day in Edmonton today. I noticed you out for a run.
Yeah, right. That wasn't me. Trevor Linden with the shot wide of the mark. Canucks controlling. Diddick shoots it back in. Courtney chasing after it with Manson. Manson backhands it up, looking for Steve Rice. Finds him in the middle of Corson. Has Arnott making a move on the left. Back to Corson. Corson tried to get around Babbage and couldn't. Smith's shot is blocked, and the Canucks come away with it. Clip running ahead to Courtnall. A chance for Courtnall. Gets the shot away, but Bill Ranford is there to steal one from Jeff Courtnall. Now let's go downstairs and get an update from Ken Daniels. Ken?
Steve, it's an all-Northeast Division battle in the Battle of Quebec at the Montreal Forum. Mike Ricci will tip in this shot. Steve Finn, Dave Carpa picking up assists. Ricci's third at 9:35. 1-0, Lane Ordi.
Watch Cliff Ronning pick this puck out of the air and start this playoff. Great hand-eye by Ronning. Bortle does his best to fight off this check, and Manson really finishes him hard. Right in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen.
And Manson pays the price for that finish. He gets 2 minutes for hooking. Time of the penalty, 12:32. 7:28 remaining to play in the opening period here at Northlands. Canucks leading 1-0 on a goal by Jose Charbonneau. his second of the year. McTavish wins the draw, gets it back to Chris Joseph. Shot down the ice by the Oilers.
Well, Vancouver's power play hasn't been great this year as well. 2 for 15, just over 13%. This morning they were practicing a simple power play. Get it to the middle, get somebody in front, and hammer it.
Slager plays it behind the net. Finds Bure. Bure back to the point, gets a return pass. Bure has it again. This is Craven. His shot deflected. Bure jumps on the loose puck. Bure was looking for Slager, and that failed to connect, but just barely. Buchberger loses his stick. McTavish comes up with it for the Oilers. Bure jumps on a loose puck. Shot wide. Slager keeps it at the point. Across to Bure. Bure with a shot. Rattles one off the post. Craven back to Bure. That time he couldn't get anything on it. And then McTavish clears it through center ice. Good pressure from the Canucks on the power play there.
A couple of great scoring chances. And a real neat save by Ranford on Bure's second shot. Ranford came right out, used his blocker to drop the puck right in front of him, and allowed his team to clear it to the other end of the ice.
Murray Craven starts out for the Vancouver Canucks, still looking for his first regular season goal. Had 4 in the playoffs. Now down to Kent.
At Joe Louis Arena, Doug Gilmour had 5 points last night. Here he is behind the net tonight. Centers in front to Dave Andrechuk, his 7th goal of the year, 4th on the power play, beating Riendeau, just the Leafs' 2nd shot of the night. They're being outshot 10-2, but leading 1-0.
And a similar score here at the Northlands Coliseum. 1-0 favor the Canucks.
Well, Bure's not a very big guy, but he's got great rhythm, and he really paced this one right over the shoulder. Ranford was there, but not quite quick enough. His goal post was, and here's the one I talked about. Look at Ranford with his blocker. Drops it right to McTavish. McTavish finishes the play by dumping it down the ice. A heady play by Ranford.
26 seconds remaining in the Canuck power play. Herbert off the boards and manages to clear the zone. Ronning plays it to Lume. Back to Ronning. Ronning leaves it for Trevor Linden. Back to the point, Babbage. Cross ice to Lume. Finds Ronning. Lume. Babbage. Ronning. And one pass too many, perhaps. Maltby plays it out to Manson. Just beyond the penalty box. Chance for Manson. Gets the shot away. And McLean got a piece of it and steered it wide. And there's a penalty coming up on the play to the Canucks. As they mix it up in the corner.
Maltby got quite upset and drilled Cliff Ronning after Manson did an excellent job to get a shot on McLean. Still 1-0 Vancouver.
These days, a lot of families looking at a new car are looking at our new F-Series Super Cab.
This truck looks so good.
And 3.9% financing for 48 months looks even better.
So is the airbag standard in the 94?
That's right. So's the roadside assistance plan.
The new roadside assistance is the best after-sale package we've ever offered.
You can tow up to 11,700 pounds. 3.9% financing for 48 months on every new F-Series pickup.
It's the best-selling and newest truck in North America at 3.9% financing.
If I was a senior citizen and was listening to Preston Manning, I would be very frightened for my security for the future.
We are going to have problems in our retirement, particularly if he attacks the Medicare and if he attacks the OAS. It's sort of romantic to be poor when you're young, but it's a pretty sad and desperate situation to be poor when you're old.
Dave Manson really put the hammer down here and stretched to the max. They got a great shot away on McLean. Lume hooked them a tad. They got a pair for hooking. And then Maltby, for some reason, went after Cliff Ronning right here. Ronning pushes him a bit. Maltby with a nice right hand. But that evened up the situation. As a result, we have 4-on-4.
Lume 2 minutes for hooking. Maltby 2 minutes for roughing. Coming at 14:44. 5:16 remaining to play, opening period. Jose Charbonneau's goal, standing up. Canucks in front, 1-0, looking for their second straight win over the Oilers. Their first win this season coming on Thanksgiving Day afternoon at Pacific Coliseum, where Gino Ojic scored twice. And a 4-1 win. Shot, save McLean. Big shot from Manson. Right side. Diddick, pass into the middle.
4-on-4 with Bure on the ice. You want to make sure that you don't allow him to get wound up. He can be tough to stop.
This is Scott Pearson. Had a couple of goals for the Oilers in their 4-4 tie with the LA Kings the other night. Babbage steals that one. Plays it ahead to Adams, who finds Bure. Bure can't give him that much ice. Finally knocked away by Dean McCammon, but a good job from Jeff Smith in tying Bure up. Good lead pass from McCammon to Scott Pearson. Couldn't quite control it. McCammon tries to work his way in front, pulled down, cleared by the Canucks.
Dave Babbage is so strong. A little earlier, McCammon got a feel for Babbage in the corner on this shift as well. He just did off to the side of the net with the same result.
Sure, we'd like to invest. But with what? I mean, we don't have $10,000 to put into something. Besides, we don't even know the first thing about investing. Well, what's an investment company going to do for us? You know we need to invest. The question is where?
Call Investors today.
58 seconds remaining in the coincidental minors to Lume and Maltby. Backhand pass finds Craven on the left side. Gary Slager fakes the shot, and the shot again turned aside by Ramford. Arnott being watched by Charbonneau. Charbonneau comes up with it, plays it deep into the zone for Slager. Fires it in. Ramford forced to make the play to Joseph. Look for Steve Rice. Arnott trailing on the play, couldn't control it. Dirk ahead to Craven. Craven goes rink wide looking for Dirk. And we're going to get another penalty to the Vancouver Canucks. Joseph tries to find somebody in the middle, goes off the skate of Murray Craven. And then Joseph sends Charbonneau to the ice. Now, Kent Daniels, what's coming up in the first period intermission?
Well, Steve, as always, Don Cherry will be along with Ron McLean in the coach's corner, and as well we'll have Ford's Hometown Heroes tonight featuring Lethbridge, Alberta. And we'll also keep you up to date on some scores, and we can bring you some now. It's New Jersey leading the Islanders 3-1. Riche, Seamack, and Zalapukin for New Jersey. And Thomas for the Islanders, while Pittsburgh has jumped out to a 3-1 lead over Hartford. Murphy, Stevens, Tocchet, and Pop for Hartford, the goal scorers.
Robert Dirk picks up a pair for holding. Good job by the Oilers once again. Edmonton hasn't stood still long. They continue to move their feet. Rice has had good pursuit on the puck. He was moving around Dirk. Dirk got the big arm on him. The Oilers will receive a power play advantage as a result. The power play has not been great. We talked about that on the first pair of penalties that given them power plays. If you look at the shots, they have been generating some scoring chances.
Lume and Maltby back on the ice. Seager can't control it for the Oilers. McIntyre along the side boards. Doug Waite. Kravchuk. And that shot wasn't wide by much from Manson. Back to Kravchuk. This is Waite. Kravchuk. One time. And it couldn't get through the traffic in front. Cleared by McIntyre. Dave Manson at his own blue line for the Oilers. They trail 1-0. 2:32 remaining to play, opening period here at Northlands. Kravchuk keeps it in. Seager has a strip by Lume. And then Corson comes over to help out. A giveaway by the Oilers, Dave Manson.
Now the Edmonton Oilers and Vancouver Canucks have played a lot of games against one another. Over the last 8 games, the Canucks have had a huge advantage. Bure with some impressive statistics. Klima, the leading scorer for the Oilers, finds himself about as far east as you can get from here.
As far as the Russian Rocket's concerned, I'm sure he'd like to play the Edmonton Oilers every night of the week. He has feasted on the Oilers since coming into the NHL with the Canucks. Face-off just inside the Canucks zone. They get control. Babbage fires it down the ice. 50 seconds remaining in the Oilers' power play. Joseph behind his own net. This is McCallum. Tried to find Buitek with a pass. Get it back to Smith. Over to Joseph. Joseph. Back to Buitek, and he couldn't control it. McCallum loses it. And again, cleared by the Canucks.
You know, there's very few players that on a power play can take a whole lot of time and make something happen. You rarely make a mistake on the power play if you make up your mind to do something and do it quickly. Either shoot right away or make a play, but don't wait.
Jeff Smith. McCammon leaves it to Pearson. Pearson around the boards and Buitek. Back to Joseph. Power play is over. Teams at even strength. Trevor Linden working his way down the left side. Canucks making a line change. Oh, and a skate save by Bill Rampert off a weak shot from Trevor Linden. I don't think Rampert expected that shot from Linden. Lume. Momesso. Shot wide of the mark. Dumped into the neutral ice area. Lume comes up with it for Vancouver. 43 seconds remaining in the opening period. Long shot. Save Rampert. Bure managed to get the rebound, but couldn't put it on the net. Bure passing in front, trying to find Momesso. Bookberger leads the way for the Oilers. Has Podine in the middle, doesn't see him. Podine trailing on the play, comes up with a pass in front of McTavish. He couldn't control it. Podine being bothered by Lume. Bure comes in to help out, but Podine still has control of it and then loses it. Dana Merzen for the Canucks. 5 seconds to play, first period. Shot down the length of the ice. And the first period ends here at the Northlands Coliseum. The score after 20 minutes of play, the Edmonton Oilers, no score. The Canucks, 1.
Picture something that's cold, immaculate, brewed in Canada with no preservatives, and yet is still one of a kind.
Subway's steak and cheese sub is not only delicious, it's easy to eat anywhere. To prove that fact, I'm going to eat my dinner here at the patio. No one's ridden rocket launcher for more than 8 seconds, so I'll have to eat fast, but you'll want to take your time to really savor tender steak and cheese on our fresh baked bread. One bite and you'll agree. Subway makes steak great!
Now when you buy one steak and cheese sub with a medium soft drink, you can get a regular 6-inch.
Quite simply, this is the most exciting truck event we've ever had.
So this is the new turbo diesel V8. 7.3 liters. More torque than Chevy, more horsepower than Dodge. And only 3.9% financing.
This is our traditionally tough truck in a totally new look.
A standard driver's side airbag, keyless entry, and alarm system, and that's just the inside story.
The driver's side airbag is something that you can't get in the Chevy pickup.
You know, you don't just buy a truck for its looks. Well, maybe this one you with.
The new F-Series is a huge leap ahead.
He's got very good ears.
V is for vehicle. V is for valves and pistons. V is for victory over engine sludge, wear, rust, and varnish. V is for viscosity, vitality, and value. V is for new Valvoline SH motor oil, the new standard in motor oil that cuts engine sludge 19%, bearing wear 13%, and cam wear 20% better than regular SG oil. V is for people who know use Valvoline. V is for thank you very much. Available at...
Choosing the right heating and cooling dealer used to be a real guessing game. Would he be a professional?
Furnace man.
Have the experience?
Furnace man.
A guy you can really trust?
Furnace guy.
But now, with Lennox Quality Dealer Standards, Lennox products and dealers are an unbeatable team. So take the guesswork out of choosing a dealer.
Furnace man.
With Quality Dealer Standards, only from Lennox.
Attaboy, Dave. Picture something that's cold, immaculate, brewed in Canada with no preservatives, and yet it's still one of a kind.
Coach's Corner with Don Cherry is brought to you by Pepsi. Gotta have it.
Cancel that order, guys.
Oh, right. Yeah. Let's see. You want a Coke? No, I'm making a Pepsi. Well, what's the diff? You said that.
The difference is one tastes better.
This one.
You chose Pepsi.
The majority of soft drink users tested prefer the taste of Pepsi over Coke Classic.
You want sausage or pepperoni?
What's the dip?
Switched over, eh? Didn't you? Switched over, didn't you?
You said that last year during the World Series, but that's on another network.
Yes.
If you want to
Serious
CBS,
stuff
stick
today.
here.
Serious stuff.
Go ahead.
All right, Rouse Probert. I'm very upset about all this.
We're at Joe Louis Arena, Detroit tonight. Last night in Toronto,
Yeah.
Bob Rouse and Bob Probert have both been suspended, pending a hearing on Monday for a stick-swinging
nervous.
incident. No,
All right,
ugly.
we're going to show this here. Now, don't get ugly. Nobody got hurt or anything ugly. Yeah, that's what got them all in the trouble, that other network that goes to New York.
Pretty ugly for Bob. Bob not playing tonight.
That's true. All right, let's show it. Now, watch it, folks, as it comes up. Not very nice. I don't want you kids doing this. I'm showing you so you won't do it. Let's see it marked. Now, watch this. Bobby gives him a shot there, and he's keeping his stick down. He's kind of going. Now, when you take two hands, it would only have been a 2-minute minor on each one. So you never, ever take two hands and swing. Now, what I'm telling you, Gary, I know you watch Coach's Corner, Gary Bettman and that. I tried to tell you years ago, and what's the other guy's name that we got rid of now?
Gil Stein, John Ziegler, you've been telling everybody. You didn't.
All right, now listen. In the old days, 3 years ago, they would have dropped their gloves. They had a real goodie. The crowd would have went nuts. Everybody would have been happy. 5-minute majors in the box. What happens now, if Probert drops his gloves, he gets a game misconduct. If he gets too many game misconducts, he misses a game. Now, Rouse the same way. You check Rouse, and I'll bet you he's never had a 5-minute major for fighting, or for sticks. And I'm telling you right now, it's the instigator rule. It's the worst thing that ever happened. Again, as I'm talking, how many times have you heard me say, Yzerman, never ever cheap shotted? Remember I used to say that all the time? Probert can't do anything about it anymore because if he comes in and sticks up for him, he's out of the game. You see what you've done?
Week ago Friday, it happened to Steve Yzerman.
Yes,
You want to show that?
I want to show this. Now, this never happened to Yzerman before the instigator rule. Now, watch this here. Volk, I think it is, gives him the shot from behind. Now, watch. He's not really in front of the net. If he's in front of the net now, you got to take your chances. But he's out at the hash mark, standing there. Watch this cross-check from behind. I guarantee you, 3 or 4 years ago, he would not finish the game. Can't do anything about it now because of the instigator rule. Don't you understand? It was the same thing with Kasperitis. Last year in the playoffs, slapping Mario around and punching him. Tocchet couldn't come in because he got thrown out of the game. Gary, listen to me.
What kind of a suspension do you think will be levied?
I think he'll get a couple of games. They'll both get a couple of games. The only thing, you know how I love Bob Rouse? He should never have brought a stick over. when you grab it like this and give it that, whoa! Now you can kind of...
A lot of nerve doing that to Bob Probert.
Well, he's alive anyhow. But in the old days, what they do is drop it and go at it. See what you've done? You've ruined the whole thing. Go ahead.
Been preferable there, no doubt about it. Dale Hunter, people in Washington want to know. They say
Dale
he's
Hunter,
21 games.
Again, I've proven how right I am. In the playoffs last year, when you suspended him, I said you might have ruined that franchise. Remember I said that? Last night, they played with Philly, with Eric Lindros, the most exciting guy maybe in the league now.
Got the winner.
Got the winner and the whole deal and everything like that. They open up at home where they used to have 18,000, 14,000 at the game last night. They're 0-6. They don't have Dale. You see what you're doing? Would you start listening to somebody that knows something about the game?
Chris Chelios is also going to go before Brian Burke for going after Adam Burt of the Hartford Whalers. First Brian Propp, then he dragged a linesman, and cold-cocked Burt. Chelios went a little wingy, no doubt about it. And there's another team, Chicago, like Detroit, are off to a rough start.
Well, yeah, and Brian Propp, what did he say about Chris? Here's the guy, Chris Chelios. He wins the Stanley Cup. He's Norris Trophy winner, All-Star. What did this guy say about him?
He said he's
Brian Propp,
a lousy person because he never goes after tough guys.
Oh, yeah, here's a guy that, picks the spot. Here's a guy that after the goals goes, that's what he does. Kufa, up yours, that's what he say, a little show. I'll tell you one thing, Brian Propp's got an awful lot of nerve talking about anybody. Here's a guy that wears a shield and turtles, and he's saying Chelios is a lousy guy. No way, he's a twit, shield-wearing twit, and Chelios is a good guy.
Well, but he's going to pay for what he did.
Yeah, I know.
Finally, Boston, Cam Neely played last night. 1-1 tie.
Ron Tugnut, let's talk about him. Ron Tugnut in Boston a couple of years ago when he was playing for Quebec. 73 shots, 3-3 tie. And what does he do last night? 38 shots, 1-1 tie. Ronnie Tugnut, by the way, Cam Neely, you Cam Neely fans, he's back. He got an assist. He missed on the penalty shot. But Ron Tugnut, what a guy. I'm glad he's getting 400 grand.
Who are you picking in the World Series and in how many?
Blue Jays in 6. What else? Can I say something about that? Have I got time about the designate?
No.
I don't have time about the...
No. Blue Jays from the Popinjay in this installment of the Coach's Corner. Molson Hockey Night in Canada on CBC.
Popinjay.
Coach's Corner with Don Cherry is brought to you by Pepsi. Gotta have it.
Hey, mister, you want to play?
Yep.
I ain't getting that. He get his own ball. Mister, don't you got a football game to go to?
Thursday on Cinema Canada, a heart-wrenching and provocative drama of innocence lost forever in a world of harsh reality, a tangled web of love and desire. Matthias Sabish, Joanne Marie Tremblay, Michelle Voita star in Leah Poole's compelling story. A hauntingly realistic journey of self-discovery. A Corps Perdu, Thursday at 11. Hot, young, bold.
I'm not stuck being me. I can be whatever I want to be.
Yamaguchi, Cranston, Stoico, Browning, Orser.
I really wanted to leave a mark in figure skating.
The world's finest skating stars, Olympic champions, strutting their stuff, burning up the ice. 90 minutes of show-stopping performances. Catch the excitement. Sun Life Stars on Ice, October 24th on CBC. Front Page Challenge, the headline makers. Webster.
Would there be any life on this earth?
Kennedy.
They did things that were wrong, and they had to pay for them.
Bothering them. I don't show up for work for 3 weeks a month. I'm sacked.
Burton. Killed and murdered hundreds and thousands of people. Front Page Challenge, the headline makers. Front Page Challenge with Fred Davis, Saturdays on CBC.
Hello, I'm Pamela Wallen. On the next CBC Primetime News Election Town Hall, we'll look at the state of government here in Canada.
Join Pamela Wallen for CBC Primetime News, Monday.
For over a century, communities across Canada have cherished the game of hockey. The result, in part, has been the production of champions. Tonight, Ford, a proud founding sponsor of the new Hockey Hall of Fame, honors the home of the Hurricanes. Lethbridge, Alberta is our focus next on Ford's hometown heroes.
Nothing feels better than getting together for that good old charbroiled taste. There's only one place that gives you that great charbroiled taste.
Half an order of French fries, half onion rings. They're frings, and they're everyone's favorite things. And for a limited time, they're just 99 cents. 99-cent frings. Come on, get into Harvey's today.
Yeah, we may spoil the charbroiled.
These days, a lot of families looking at a new car are looking at our new F-Series Super Cab.
This truck looks so good.
And 3.9% financing for 48 months looks even better.
So is the airbag standard in the 94?
That's right. So's the roadside assistance plan.
The new roadside assistance is the best after-sale package we've ever offered.
You can tow up to 11,700 pounds. 3.9% financing for 48 months on every new F-Series pickup.
It's the best-selling and newest truck in North America at 3.9% financing.
Mornings will never be the same now that there's new Cool Mint Listerine. Because Cool Mint isn't just another mouthwash with a fresh, minty taste. It also attacks bad breath with a proven germ-killing formula. New Cool Mint Listerine. There's no better way to wake up a foul mouth.
If you're thinking about buying a home, think RE/MAX. A RE/MAX sales associate can help find the home that's right for you. Because nobody knows the market better. RE/MAX is Canada's real estate leader. So why would you call anyone else? If you're looking for a home, look for RE/MAX. Out in front.
Or some screw-ups.
Yeah, something like that.
Now it's double the impact with the Air Force. Catch them on television as well as radio.
A topical sweep at the events of the week.
Lots of just plain goofy stuff.
The Royal Canadian Air Force on CBC, Friday at 7:30 on Living Television.
I look better in real life.
From the unforgettable Emily comes the epic story of her daughter, Blanche. A beautiful and ambitious woman, Blanche faces a heartbreaking choice. The man she loves or a future she knows holds more than marriage alone. Independence and determination lead her to a life more passionate than she ever dreamt possible. The sweeping saga of Blanche, Wednesday at 10.
The Great Pyramid of Giza, 140 meters high. Until this century, the largest building on Earth. How did the ancient Egyptians place those 6 million tons of stone without a forklift? An archaeologist, a stonemason, and a skillful Egyptian crew show how it could be done. Watch The Pyramid Builders. Wednesday on The Nature of Things with David Suzuki.
The first portion of Molson Hockey Night in Canada on CBC was brought to you by Ford of Canada, where quality is job one. It's working.
Welcome back to Northland's Coliseum. Second period about to get underway. During the first period intermission, I talked to the Oilers' Doug Waite and asked him how long he thought it might take for this Oilers team to gel.
Well, I think obviously you never know how people mature year after year, and it's really tough to say, but I think we're all pretty happy with how the guys have played already. In 5 games into the year, we've showed we can play with a lot of teams, good teams, and hopefully we keep learning as the season goes on.
About yourself early in your career, did you ever think that maybe the expectations of you were so high that maybe you couldn't deliver very early on?
No, I don't think. I think that that was a problem at all. I think I came in with a real good club in New York, and a lot of good centers and a lot of depth on all positions, and it's tough to get in the power play and things like that. So I think it was just a matter of depth. I was pretty confident. I was pretty happy with how I played my first couple of years. You know, those things happen, who you play with and what teams you end up in the draft. So I was happy with how things turned on, you know, and I'm happy with the trade now, and hopefully things can keep going upward as I play here.
Gone for the Edmonton Oilers in this first period here. They only trail 1-0, but certainly full marks for a pretty good period by the Oilers as the second period gets underway. Oilers out shooting Vancouver 13-9 in the opening 20 minutes. This is Dana Merzen working down the right side, bothered there by Herbers, forced to dump it in. Good start for Doug Waite. Personally, 4 goals and 1 assist. Courtnall at the Oilers' blue line loses control and puts himself offside.
The next portion of Molson Hockey Night in Canada on CBC is brought to you by Imperial Oil and Esso Associates, who invite you to discover the Esso Tigers' spirit of service.
Jose Charbonneau with his second goal of the season, giving the Vancouver Canucks a 1-0 lead. Linden and Adams assisting, the goal coming at 9:43 of the opening period. We are in the second period now. Jim Pavlinsky, Steve Armitage, Ken Daniels, good to have you with us. You're watching Molson Hockey Night in Canada on CBC. This is Pavel Bure. Rink wide to Momesso. Momesso shot just wide.
The Canucks have done a nice job so far this evening in coming from behind. Charbonneau scored a goal that way. Momesso just got a good chance in exactly the same fashion.
A giveaway by the Canucks in their own zone. A shot from Shane Corson, save from McLean. His first of the second period. Momesso for the Canucks. Loses control. Bure keeps it in. Momesso giving chase. Joseph is there for the Oilers. Plays it up to Steve Rice. Shot from Babbage, saved by McLean. Pavel Bure almost got a stick on that pass from Sergio Momesso, who's playing on this line in place of Gino Ojic, who's gone with a game misconduct. Bure. Shot. And Bure didn't even look at the net when he got that shot away. He was looking over at his winger. Adams. Bure. Good move, still has control. Shot by Adams, saved by Ranford. McTavish. Falls down trying to get behind Robert Dirk. Adams backhands it along the boards. Oilers control in the neutral zone. 17:43 to play, second period. Vancouver leading 1-0. Slager. Bodine tried to line him up. Adams. Rink wide to Slager. Slager with the shot, saved by Ranford. That may have been going wide. Ranford made it look good. 17.5 minutes to play, second period. Vancouver up by 1.
Introducing the new 1994 Acura Integra Sports Coupe and Sports Sedan. Not since Hot Wheels have cars been this fun. Track sold separately.
Dr. Suzuki on family values. The 94 four-door Sidekick 4x4 is perfect for the average family of 4.2 persons. There's room for 1, 2, 3, 4 people, and even room for 0.2. Suzuki, the wheels are turning. Dr. Suzuki on value. The 94 Sidekick 4x4 comes with great standard features, like an alarm system and 24-hour roadside assistance. Best of all, its price is within reach of everyone. Suzuki, the wheels are turning.
Welcome back to Edmonton. Checking scores out of town. Pittsburgh leading Hartford 5-1 as they play in the second. C-Mac with one of the goals there. Steve?
And we'll keep Ken occupied all night updating all the other scores from around the NHL on a typical busy Saturday night. Ken, you got some more?
And it's the Devils leading the Islanders 6-2. Seamack with 3 of the goals for New Jersey. And Philadelphia and the Rangers are tied at 2. Lindros is 5th, have given the Flyers the lead. Gartner has tied it.
New York Rangers coming off a win over the Buffalo Sabres last night. Talked to Ron Smith, the assistant coach of the Vancouver Canucks, former head coach of the Rangers. Asked him if he was rooting for the Rangers. Said it's hard not to. The ties are still pretty strong. Dirk with the shot, just wide. McIntyre has control, passes in front. Trying to find Tim Hunter. He couldn't control it and get the shot away. Penalty coming up. Now back down to Ken Daniels and another update.
Steve, as you know, coaches will tell you a goal in the last minute of a period can either lift you or kill you. Well, for the Leafs, it's a huge lift. Mark Osborne to John Cullen with just 34 seconds left in the first period. 2-0 Leafs leading the Wings after 1.
The Vancouver Canucks have changed the tempo of this hockey game by simply shooting the puck a little bit more. Charbonneau's first shot, Vancouver's third, made it 1-0. The Oilers had outshot the Canucks 12-3. Jeff Smith puts the hook out. Vancouver now has another opportunity at a power play. And the way they're shooting the puck in this second period, the Oilers are going to have to be a little more sound defensively.
Slager, blocked by Maltby. Slager keeps it in. Behind the net to Courtnall. He leaves it for Ronning. Back to Courtnall. Ronning has Slager and Craven working the points. Craven gets it. Back to Slager. Shot wide. Ronning tries to get it back to Slager. Just rolls to Slager. Back to Ronning. Slager, shot, blocked in front by Corson, then cleared into the neutral zone by the Oilers.
Tell you what, if you're passing a puck off, you better be aware if number 18 Maltby's on the ice. He has finished every one of his checks, whether it's been 5-on-5 or whether he's been killing a penalty.
Again, the Oilers able to clear as the Canucks not able to get things going with the attack. Craven plays it off the mesh in the back of the net. McTavish was there hoping for a loose puck. Craven dumps it in. 58 seconds remaining in the Canucks power play. Slager inside his own blue line to Ronning. Ronning back to Slager. Slager's shot in front. They can't clear it. Luke Richardson now for the Oilers. Has McTavish with him. Richardson shot saved but played. Big shot from Luke Richardson. Back come the Canucks. Jeff Courtnall working against Joseph. Gets the shot away. Ranford with the save. Linden keeps it in the Oilers zone. Ronning finds Slager left side, unable to control. Linden gloves it down, plays it to Courtnall. Courtnall, quick shot, and Ranford may have got just enough of that to turn it aside. Ronning back to Slager. Running shot, deflected wide. Linden to Slager. Linden. Craven. Teams at even strength now. Canucks power play just ended. Shot goes off the skate of Joseph. Craven to Courtnall. Finds Ronning. And the Oilers are able to clear, but will get an icing against Edmonton. Now to Ken Daniels with another update. Ken?
Well, we'll take you back, Steve, to the Montreal Forum. Quebec led 1-0 after one period of play, and the Nordiques jump out by 2. A gift goal, so to speak, for Matt Sundin, second of the year from a bad angle. Rebound off the end boards. 2-0 Montreal, Quebec rather, in the second period. Next week, our national game for you on Hockey Night in Canada, Anaheim. The Mighty Ducks are at Montreal. For viewers, Saskatchewan West, 6 Mountain, 5 Pacific. We'll also have one other game, Toronto and Tampa Bay.
Looking forward to seeing the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim play Boston to a 1-1 tie last night. Of course, they won their first ever game in the NHL by beating the Edmonton Oilers in Anaheim. Face-off to the left of Ranford. Adams losing control. Oilers come up with it. Manson. Bodine. Lume for the Canucks. Tried to find Momesso in the middle with a pass. Manson, rink wide, picked off by Lume. Flurry to Adams. Smith, ahead to Manson. Manson's shot and a save by McLean. 14-13 to play, second period. Charbonneau's goal, still the only one of the game.
In Canada, parties are planned to suit the season. Witness the fall party, the winter party, the spring party, and the ever-popular summer party. The seasonal party where you'll find the clean, crisp taste of Molson Canadian and what beer's all about.
Can I get a van to suit my lifestyle?
Yes, you can. Chevy Astro and GMC Safari have room for 8 and a 4.3-liter V6 for pulling power.
Can I get a van designed for safety?
Yes, you can. Safari and Astro have 4-wheel anti-lock brakes and a driver's side airbag standard.
Can I get a good deal?
Yes, you can. Chevy Astro and GMC Safari are priced at $18,995 and come with air conditioning, tilt, cruise, stereo cassette, and seating for 8. Yes, you can, man. Only at your Alberta GM dealers.
Jason Arnott gets Momesso stick in the face right here as Momesso jumps into forecheck. A little bit of recklessness in the way he carried his stick. Arnott got the worst of that, went to the bench as a result.
Babbage behind his own net, plays it up to Hunter. Hunter backhands it off the boards, gets a return pass inadvertently. Hunter ahead to Babbage. McIntyre fighting with the puck against Ranford. Louis-Tech leading the attack for the Oilers. And McCammon was offside on the right side.
You know, if you look at the Oilers in the first part of this game, we're playing more the style I think Ted Green wants right now. A simple game, getting the red line, getting it in, not holding guys up. What you just saw with Viatek jumping in, everyone else is held up. And offside results when you're changing players and moving things around. You want a very simple game. Ted Green is instilling that. He hasn't had a lot of practice time with just his crew. And he wants guys to have a work ethic, have intensity, but not to get too fancy, get to know each other. And in the next 20, and the next 20, and the next 20 games after that, they can perhaps start to do things a little differently.
Igor Kravchuk finds Pearson with the pass, broken up by Diddick. Diddick ahead to Hunter. Over 500 games with the Calgary Flames. Short stint with the Quebec Nordique. Now with the Canucks. Buitek. And it's offside. Down to Ken Daniels. And another update, Ken.
Well, Steve, let's show you some great passing. And for that, we'll go to the Montreal Forum. Joe Sakic to Chris Simon. Wawa Ontario's happy. 3-0 Quebec. 49 seconds later, Martin Gelinas to Owen Nolan. Nice delay on the shot. 3 goals for the Nords within 2:56. 4-0 Quebec over Montreal.
A couple of beauties there. Former Nordique Hunter bouncing with another one. Pearson here a few seconds ago. Well, Pat Quinn is an interesting guy, very intense coach, but talking with some of the guys, they've said some things that are a little bit different than what you hear about normal coaches. They all say they like the guy, and I think they really mean it. He gives them a lot of room. He simply says, here's where we got to be. You guys decide how to get there.
Gary Slager shoots it into the Oilers zone. Chris Joseph there. He led all shooters in the game in the first period with 4 shots. Most of those coming on the power play. Dirk lays it off the boards to Momesso. Maltby, good move. Graber. To Slager. Charbonneau leads it for Momesso. Momesso shoots it in, chases after it. Charbonneau has the only goal in the game so far. Vancouver lead 1-0. 12:36 to play, second period. Doug Waite passes in the middle, and Maltby was there but couldn't control it. Graven backhand in front to Slager. Ahead to Momesso. Momesso, lots of room on the right side. Tries to get around Luke Richardson, does. Momesso, good effort, finally loses it. but the Canucks keep control. Robert Dirk's shot deflected in front by Joseph. Linden. Momesso. Long shift for him, and he's coming off the ice tired. Ronnie. Played it in front for captain Trevor Linden, but he couldn't get to it. McCammon. Make that Doug wait. This is Steve Rice. Smith working against Dirk. Corson comes over to help out. Canucks gain control. Cliff Ronnie. Slager has it. Corson bothering him. Ronnie ahead to Sean Antoski. He doesn't see it, and it rolls down the ice.
The Oilers with pretty good pursuit on the puck. Starting to dump it more at Vancouver's net. Not trying to get too fancy. See if they can't get a bounce and generate some of the shots that they had in the opening period.
Trevor Linden leaves it for Lume, who's trailing on the play. Lume tries to pass in front. Linden grabs a loose puck. Back to Lume. Lume shot wide. Goes back out into the neutral ice area. Mercer rink wide to Lume, who shoots it in. Dave Manson behind his own net. Bure shot. Rebound, but there was no black shirt in front. Jason Arnott just dumps it in. Oilers have control. This is Corson passing in front, goes off the skate of Bure. The Russian Rocket starts out for the Canucks. Bure. Weak shot. Wide of the mark. Adams passing in front, tries to find Courtnall. Kelly Bookberger comes away with it for the Oilers. And Kravchuk's pass is offside. 10:15 to play. It's still Canucks up by 1.
On every road, chances are you'll find a Chrysler Magic Wagon.
Are we there yet?
Maybe it's because we introduced the world's first minivan.
Are we there yet?
Or that we were the first to offer child safety seats and standard door airbags.
The dog has got to go.
Are we there yet?
All we know for sure is we created Canada's most popular minivan.
Okay, everybody.
By continuously asking one question. Are we there yet?
Perfect.
Details.
I think it's the little extra details that separate us from the other gas stations.
The small things like talking to the customer, using their name if you can.
Make sure you always have good eye contact.
One of the things that they teach us to do is if you're checking the oil, when you close the hood, then just take a clean towel and just wipe it off.
The service is number one, and then the details just top it off.
It's the little things that make us special.
Face-off situation, not unlike the score here. Off by 1. Very, very equal in all zones and overall. The shots right now, the Oilers 16, Vancouver 17. The face-offs through the first half of this period are pretty close to equal as well.
10:10 to play, second period. Canucks leading by 1. Courtnall, backhand pass up the middle for Bure. Bure misfired on the pass, looking for Adams. Oilers have control in the Canucks zone. This is Craig McTavish working against Babbage. Adams comes over to help out. Bookberger is there. Has Codine over there. Codine working against Babbage. Courtnall able to get it into the neutral zone. Herberts rink wide to Bookberger. Bookberger's pass goes off of Babbage. Courtnall comes up with a loose puck. Can't control. Play sloppy now on the part of both teams. McLean forget it. To Bure, mistimes the shot into the zone. Kravchuk off the board. Sean Antoski. Some room shot just wide. Slager with the shot. Ranford had to be careful, and Antoski got a stick on it, and the shot just dribbled wide to the right side. This is Bure. And the Oilers come away with a Dean McCammon. Oiler fans calling for a penalty. McIntyre. Joseph has it stripped. Hunter, big shot, and a save by Ranford. Well, there are always highs and lows in any long NHL season. This might be the low for the Edmonton Oilers so far.
Well, if you look at Anaheim versus Edmonton, 9 rookies in the Oilers. The Ducks with 0 as far as NHL experience. This was the finish of the game. The crowd went wild. The Edmonton Oilers really only had one bad period. It was the first period. After that, they were pretty solid, but it was a little bit too late. Ron Wilson gets the first win under his belt. Jack Ferraro was a happy general manager. The Edmonton Oilers recognize that they got to put together a full 60, even if they're playing expansion teams.
A lot of quacking on the pond that night in Anaheim's first ever win for the expansion team.
Barry Melrose had a great line. He said, duck calls are $8.50 in Anaheim. He said, at the general store in Kelvington, I can buy them for 89 cents.
And they sound the same in both places. Manson clears the zone, tries to find Maltby. He runs into Robert Dirk. Jose Charbonneau, his goal at 9:34, the first period, still standing up. Canucks lead 1-0 with 8:09 to play, second period here at Northlands. Play on the sideboards. Oilers able to keep it in, keep the pressure on. Manson working against Momesso. Doug Waite working against Schleicher. Charbonneau loses it to Waite. Good effort by Waite. Kept in by Smith. Ahead to Seeger. This is Maltby. Maltby runs into Charbonneau. Charbonneau. Schleicher. And Schleicher tried to find Murray Craven with the pass, and that was too far. It'll be icing against the Canucks. 7:24 to play. Second period.
The SO Tiger team talks pride.
Customer liked my smile. I watched you guys work, and we always had grin from ear to ear.
It's like being just a real family, and when you enjoy being together, you enjoy your customers more, you treat your customers better.
There's a great amount of care taken in everything that SO does.
We take what we do very seriously. We expect to be the best, and we work at it.
Customers number one.
Quality, friendly service. And I think that's what it all comes down to.
You're on your way with SO.
Welcome back to the Northlands Coliseum in Edmonton, where the Canucks are out shooting the Oilers 19-16 and lead on the scoreboard 1-0. 7:24 to play, second period. Lume finds Ronning with a pass. He plays it up to Linden. Linden being watched by Jason Arnott in the middle of Corson. Linden loses it to Chris Joseph. First-round draft pick of the Pittsburgh Penguins. This is Arnott, another first-round draft pick. Best scoring chance for the Edmonton Oilers, but they're unable to convert.
Well, it's plays like this that allow you to evaluate the skill level of a player. Arnott sees an opening, and watch how quickly he comes around to the backhand. Puts the burners on, a nice hard on-the-money backhand, a great pass. Rice almost converted. Another look at it, a real beauty. Going full bore, putting it on the tape in that fashion gives a good indication of the skill that Arnott has, and the reason Glenn Sather and the Edmonton Oilers management are so high on this youngster.
Steve Rice still looking for his first goal of this 93-94 season. Came very close there for the Oilers.
Now it's going to take some time, but I'm not sure looking down this bench, and from even what we've seen in the first 35 minutes of this hockey game, there's some good young players here. The commitment that we talked about in the opening that Ted Green wants to see is there. Guys like McCammon, Maltby, Rice taking the body. If they can continue to do that, some good things will happen over time.
Babbage backhands it ahead to Craven. Plays it to Bure. Back to Craven. Craven keeps it in the zone. Oilers come up with it. Vujic Buick. And the veteran wins that battle, but this is Buick for the Oilers behind the net. Adams able to get a stick on it, but the Oilers keep it in the Canucks zone. Glove on the ice, and that's where the puck is. Buick working against Barris. Fans wanting a penalty call there. This is McCammon. Gets the shot away, but it goes off a Canucks skate in front. Pearson. Shot cleared by Adams. Adams ahead to Craven to Burray. Burray shot save. Ranford and the rebound came back to Burray. And again, Ranford there for the Oilers.
Bill Ranford hasn't had a lot of work for the last 3 or 4 minutes, but he had to come up with a big save. One of the marks of a great goaltender is to be able to do this when you've been cold. Ranford stops the first one, concentrates on the second one, and even though it was a bouncing ball, he corralled it. And that's why it's still 1-0.
Shots on goal, 21-17, favor the Canucks. Edmonton out shooting Vancouver 13-9 in the opening period. So a much better period for Vancouver. McIntyre against McTavish. Played off the glass by Bodine. Down the ice. Dirk back to touch it, and we get an icing call.
Well, Steve, I know you're right up to speed on all these sorts of things. Run through this 17-year-old Gordie Howe. Scored his first goal. He was wearing sweater number for all you trivia buffs. Can you fill the blank in, Steve?
Well, I know what number he wore for many, many years throughout almost his entire career.
Number 16.
Right. But I can't, for the life of me, think of the first number he ever
Magic,
wore.
number 17. How many people knew that? I'm a guy, I'll admit it, I didn't know that. Did you?
Only after you told me. Face-off to the left of Ranford, 5:42 to play, second period. Canucks get the draw. Shot save, Ranford. Buick dumps it in. Almost found Podine with a pass. McIntyre. Tied up on the boards. McTavish comes over to help out. McTavish watched by Slager. But Slager wins that battle. Robert Dirk now for the Canucks. And Toski up to Hunter. Kravchuk along the boards, kept in by the Canucks. McIntyre. Hunter comes over to help out. And Toski. Kravchuk has it for the Oilers behind his own net. Clears the zone. McLean forced to play it. Plays it off the boards ahead to Ronning. Ronning with some ice in front of him. Ronning to Momesso. Momesso couldn't get the shot away. Lost control of the puck just as he was going to the backhand. Charbonneau ahead to Ronning. Ronning shot just wide by inches. Now the Oilers come back. That's Seager. Couldn't get control. Backhanded into the neutral zone. Momesso with a quick pass looking for Charbonneau. Lumet takes it in, but Ronning was caught offside. 4:06 to play, second period. Vancouver in front by 1.
First, we invented the minivan. Then we raised the standard of the performance car. Next, we did the same for the sport utility and the family car, as well as the luxury car. And now, we're just getting warmed up.
Announcing UAP Napa's Fall Fever Sale event. From October 1st through 31st, our prices will be falling faster than the leaves on the trees. Here's just a few of the specials you'll find. UAP Napa Premium Motor Oil, $5.30, only $1.69 a liter. $10.30, just $1.59 a liter. And enter to win a Grey Cup weekend for two from UAP Napa and CBC Sports. So hurry into your UAP Napa store today before these deals are gone.
Welcome back to the Northlands Coliseum in Edmonton, where the Vancouver Canucks continue to lead the Oilers 1-0. This is my second look at the Oilers this season. Saw them on Thanksgiving Day in Vancouver. Much more impressed with the Oiler club I'm seeing here tonight.
Some young guys that are doing a veteran-style job in the first couple of periods of this hockey game.
Dana Merzen forced back into his own zone. Ahead to Ronnie. Ronnie playing his traditional strong game for the Canucks, but loses it right there. This is Maltby, who's played well for the Oilers tonight. And the play is blown down.
You know, in talking about young guys, you take a look at Kirk Maltby. He's been hitting everything that moves tonight, finishing his body checks, doing the veteran type thing, something that happens every once in a while. You're stuck inside your zone. Look at Ronnie. Whoops, bumps into him. Ronnie's on the wrong side of the blue line. The play's whistled down. This was the last shift. Something that you don't notice perhaps, but it's those little deals in games that can make the difference when the third period buzzer rings.
If Maltby learned nothing else in the American Hockey League, it was how to throw his weight around. That's a tough league. Can be very physical at times. Joseph. Luke Richardson tried to find Arnott with the pass, picked off by Babbage. Babbage plays it off the boards. Richardson. Pass in front. Nice! We're tied at 1.
We talked about a great backhand pass. You're going to see exactly the same one again. Stephen Rice said on the last one, if I could only have that chance one more time. Well, he got the same thing. The only difference was the separation was 12 feet instead of 36. Arnott with a super pass once again, wheeling in over to his backhand, and Rice makes no mistake. Doesn't go for the move this time. Gets the shot on the 4x6. A perfectly executed play. We've got a tie ball game.
Steve Rice with his first goal of the year at 16:41. The rookie Jason Arnott and the veteran Shane Corson assisting, and it's a 1-all tie here at the Northlands Coliseum. And we get an icing call on the play with 3 minutes and 10 seconds remaining to play in the second period.
And another look at what's the tying goal right now. You have to know where your line mate is. Arnott is looking over to where the pass is coming from, but just before that, he's taking a look at Rice coming in. He knows Rice goes to the net. Ted Green has been practicing that for more years than you and I will remember. And as a result, a conversion and a goal.
A lot of good things happen when you go to the net, and that's one of them. Bure to Slager. 17-minute mark of the second period. Bure with a shot wide. Slager. Bure. And the rebound went off the side of the net, came out in front, took a funny hop.
What a heady play by Bill Ranford. He saw the puck coming off the side of the boards and then the net. He didn't want to get in front of it because it could be deflected back into the net. He jumped up in the air and the puck went right underneath him.
This is Bure. Tries to get behind Herbers, and the Oilers able to clear the zone. Shoot it down the ice. Dirk goes over to touch it, and we get an icing call. Ken Daniels, what have you got for us?
Well, Steve, the Montreal Canadiens have finally hit the board. Quebec had a 4-0 lead in the second period, and then Danfus and Wilson combined to set up Brian Bellows for his fourth at 14:38. The Habs still trail, this time only by 3.
Well, the Edmonton Oilers had a tough time in this division last year. The Vancouver Canucks were absolutely outstanding. In fact, I think they were second in the National Hockey League overall when it comes to record within division. 52 points. Ended up allowing them to finish first in the Smythe.
McIntyre. Watched by Craig McTavish, tied up by McTavish, and then McIntyre is able to get to the loose puck. Still controls, plays it off the side boards. Pearson able to clear the zone. Sean Antoski to Lume. Oilers keep it in. Hookberg intercepted by Lume. Lume starts out for the Canucks. shoots it in. Ranford leaves it for Smith. Smith to Pearson. Pearson dumps it to center ice. And it finds its way into the Canucks zone. Merson one-hands it to Lume. Pearson has it for the Oilers. Can't control it. Craven comes over to help out. Now Charbonneau for the Canucks. Rink wide to Dana Merson. Merson. Charbonneau can't get to it. Now has it. Tied up by Manson. Back to Babbage in the skates of Craven. Charbonneau has the goal for Vancouver, and Charbonneau with a great pass to Momesso, and he couldn't steer it behind Ranford. Less than a minute to play, second period. We're tied at 1. This is Maltby at the blue line. Still has it. Maltby tries to find Pearson. He's tied up by Momesso. Loose puck. And the Canucks come out of their own zone. This is Murray Craven. And offside is the call. What's coming up in the second period intermission, Ken?
Well, Steve, since Gino Odjick's been tossed out of this game, he'll be well rested for my grueling questions. Gino will join us in the studio as well during our second period intermission after 40 minutes with Ron McLean. All that coming up.
And on After 40 Minutes tonight, Ron will look at some of the rookies in the NHL, some of the high-priced talent, and how they're working out for their respective clubs. Pair of sevens. Ronnie wins that one against the rookie Arnott. And it's knocked into the stands.
The Vancouver Canucks have got kind of a strange schedule. Edmonton's had 5 games. This is their 6th so far in this young season. Vancouver has had basically a week off. You wonder in a schedule where things really start to get tight towards the end if there wouldn't be more lobbying on Vancouver's part to play a few more at the start of the season, particularly when guys are hungry to get going.
Diddick shoots it in around the glass. Ronnie has it for the Canucks. Tries to find Linden with a pass. 15 seconds to play, second period. Shot in by the Canucks. Corson tries to get it for the Oilers. Linden beats him to it. Linden still has it. Linden. Shot wide. Diddick keeps it in the Oilers zone. Gets the shot away. Again wide. And there goes the buzzer to end the second period of play here at the Northlands Coliseum. A much better period for the Canucks, but the Oilers get the equalizer. We're tied at 1 after 2 periods of play.
Andrew Dunn, Canada Trust customer, age 6. Liquid assets, 279 nickels, and counting. Financial goal, mountain bike, or nickel tycoon. A small suggestion, start with the basics and see where it leads.
Definitely the sportiest sedan I've ever seen.
It just reeks of performance just to look at it.
ABS is fantastic. It's got that bulletproof finish, aerodynamic.
The inside of it is designed for a person who's really focused on driving. There's this big cliff there with all these mountains and trees.
You've got such a good view up here, and you sometimes forget that there's an extra couple of seats in the trunk behind you.
And you guys recreated my perfect automotive fantasy.